In the finale of Volume 7, there was a lot of things that happened, but one event in particular was kind of ambiguous as to what transpired. When Ironwood shot Oscar, breaking his aura, causing him to plummet to his death, he was about to pass out. Luckily, Ozpin returned in the nick of time to snap him out of it, and gave Oscar the opportunity to grab hold of the long memory, Ozpin's cane that was falling next to him. And he was able to work a little bit of magic with it, it seems. The gears started turning, the cane started glowing, and after that point, Oscar had the strength, the stamina, and the aura to not only break through the bottom of Atlas, but also to generate an aura barrier strong enough so that when he hit the ground, he was able to emerge unscathed and not die from the fall. But what exactly happened here? What powers did Oscar tap into that the long memory possesses? Well, we've known that the long memory had other abilities since Volume 5. RWBY questioned Ozpin about it being a relic, and we found out that, well, it's not a relic, but it does have some other secrets, and now we know that those secrets are some of Ozpin's magic, because that's obviously what happened in Volume 7. You know, weapons just don't inherently have the ability to do things like this, but what this magic relates to, we've actually known since Volume 3. In Volume 3, the finale, Episode 12, in the cast commentary, to be specific, so this isn't, widespread information, but it was revealed that the cane has the ability to store time. So that's what Oscar was able to tap into, the time that was stored within the long memory. But for time to be stored somewhere, it stands to reason that the time had to come from somewhere else, or someone else. If we look back at Volume 3 and that fight that took place between Ozpin and Cinder, who actually won that battle? Sure, you'd say Cinder because she was the one who emerged victorious at the end of it, but did she actually kill Ozpin? Well, that was left intentionally ambiguous. We don't know. In fact, in Volume 4, when Salem directly asked Cinder, specifically, did you kill Ozpin? Cinder was a bit unsure of that, but still replied yes. My guess is Cinder is not fully aware of all of Ozpin's abilities, and so since Ozpin was dead when she left the vault under Beacon Academy, she may as well take credit for the kill, right? But I think Cinder lied. I think Ozpin, instead, knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to beat a maiden, which Cinder was fighting pretty strongly at that time from what we saw, even though Ozpin was able to keep up, his magic, as described by him, is finite and dwindling. So he probably wouldn't have been able to beat Cinder in a drawn-out battle. And because of that, he sacrificed the remainder of his life, the remainder of his time, so it could be used by his next reincarnation, in this case, Oscar. So Oscar was able to tap into the time stored within the long memory and restore Ozpin's time so that they were able to use that aura, that strength, etc. to strengthen the long memory by using it as a conduit for your aura, slamming through the bottom of Atlas, and then generating that aura barrier. And I do say aura barrier simply because of the look of it. It looks like a person's aura, which has the same kind of wavy pattern. If we look at Oscar's aura from when Ironwood shot him, it's the same wavy pattern, and if you just extend that out to a sphere around someone, looks the same. So I'm going to say that that's probably an aura ability, a very high level one at that, but an aura ability instead of just magic. That's my own personal take on it. There might be magic involved with that, but regardless, there is aura involved with that. Because if we look at the colors of Oscar's aura and the aura barrier that was produced, there are slight differences between this, namely in the color. Oscar's aura is a bit lighter in color, whereas this aura barrier is a bit darker. It, in fact, is the same color as Ozpin's aura. From when we saw Ozpin activate his aura back in Volume 5 when he was about to spar with RWBY, it is the same shade of green as this barrier. This was Ozpin's aura that was being activated, and it was Ozpin's time that was restored by the long memory. Oscar still had his aura broken, but since he's in the unique position of having two souls within his body, since they are still separate, there is technically two auras for that one body as well. Now, it could be that Ozpin was taking control throughout this entire fall, and he was the one who generated that aura barrier. Not exactly sure on that one, but Oscar was the one conscious on the ground, so I'm guessing he was the one conscious throughout the entire thing. Not really sure, but, you know, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide in the comments below. But because of this, it's interesting to think that Ozpin extended the time that he had within Oscar's body, meaning, at least in my mind, that their minds are going to stay separate for longer instead of merging. And this is beneficial because, you know that old saying, two minds or two heads are better than one. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And rejoice, Rose Garden shippers, because if this proves to be correct, that Ozpin has extended his own time within Oscar's body, we will likely see it by the end of the series, Ozma's soul being able to rest while not being fused with Oscar, and then Oscar can live out the remainder of his life afterwards, and thus could pursue a relationship with RWBY if the series decides to go that route. And it's also worth noting that the entire naming scheme of Ozpin's cane, the Long Memory, fits with this idea that Ozpin is able to extend the time that his memories stay separate from his new host, while also adding in the aura and extending his own power, etc. Not exactly sure how it works, but overall these are my ideas on what transpired in Volume 7 finale. The powers that Oscar was able to tap into while he was falling that allowed him to survive the fall in general. That between Ozpin and Cinder in their fight in the vault under Beacon Academy, Ozpin sacrificed himself instead of being killed by Cinder. And it's honestly kind of a shame on Cinder's part that she didn't know about this ability that Ozpin had, because she could have prevented, you know, Oscar from being able to tap into it by just taking the Long Memory and delivering it to Salem at that point. And then that would have been proof that, hey, I killed Ozpin, here's his cane, etc. Though, even if she did grab it, by the time she got to the top of Beacon Academy and RWBY blasted her, maybe it would have dropped then, not really sure. But we do know that Crow was able to retrieve it as he went to Beacon Tower to retrieve RWBY. He must have also gotten the cane because he was carrying it, gave it to Oscar, etc. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Does this make sense? Do you think that Ozpin did sacrifice himself to store his time, and that's what Oscar was able to use, restoring Ozpin's aura instead of his own, and that was what was used to create that aura barrier? Also with the aura barrier, does it make sense that it was an aura barrier, just projecting your aura outwards to create sort of a cushion for your fall in that case? I know it is similar to the barrier that Ozpin made back in Volume 3 in his fight against Cinder, though that one was definitely reinforced by magic. I don't think an aura barrier would be able to survive or last through the magic blast that Cinder gave out, so I think this barrier that Oscar created is definitely different from the one Ozpin did in Volume 3, but again, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, join the Guild of the Eternal Flame, tweet me at PhoenixKnight7, and also make sure that you go and vote in the best weapons poll that is currently going on. Link in the description below. Go and vote for your top 3 best weapons in the RWBY series, and we'll see what weapons reign supreme overall. Results will be posted in a video over the weekend, so look forward to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.